Oh, all right, let me do an emergency update. I sinned and I read the Color Times. I can't even, if it wasn't for so much manipulation, I wouldn't have done this video. Let me say, I'm going to show you the ones that I just read. They have an article. This is somewhat news, politics. The Color Times has an article. That one I just kept trying to find it. I read it. But it's on Robert Mueller. It's about the investigation. And it's so manipulative and deceptive. But it basically has a picture of Robert Mueller, the special counsel on the Trump thing. It's talking about George Papadopoulos. These are all figures in this whole investigation. Now, at this stage of the game, we realize that much of the whole Mueller investigation and people behind the scenes, Bruce Ohr, a judge who had to recuse himself because his wife Nellie Ohr worked for the firm Fusion GPS, and they indeed did illegally pass off information, which was politically purchased information, which was called opposition research, which we all know now was purchased by the Democrats and Hillary Clinton. And they had illegal contacts by using a foreign citizen by the name of Steele to get that information. We now know at this stage that a lot of that was and is extremely bad. But the Color Times actually has an article, and Mr. Mueller looked like he had something in his hand, and it showed how Mr. Mueller's investigation was going after particular persons, whether or not they were going to get opposition research from the Russians against Hillary. And the reason that's such a sham and a manipulation that the Color Times would show you that is they themselves used manipulative opposition research that was obtained illegally, because I just showed you the man Steele, the British spy, was not registered as a foreign lobbyist. And they actually took all that illegal stuff, highly political stuff, and used it to launch this investigation. But the Color Times actually showed you Mueller and said how he's trying to find out whether Trump did, in essence, what we did. That's manipulation, and they're constant at doing that. Okay. Then in the same paper, they had the goal to write, the press is not the enemy of the people. The press is manipulative, and I just gave you one example. The press is not free speech. The press at this time in our country is a political arm of a particular political viewpoint. And because they are so ingrained with that political viewpoint, they do not tell you what's true. And they constantly do not tell you what's true, day after day. Then I saw one. I'm familiar with InfoWars. InfoWars Alex Jones destroyed evidence, court motion claims. Alex Jones and InfoWars is a conspiratorial site that I've only become familiar with because they were based out of Austin. And I'm not a fan of InfoWars. But what InfoWars did, one of their cases that they're actually presently in court in Austin, was they were sued by the families of the Sandy Hook massacre. Tragedy, school shooting, kids were killed. And Jones had certain videos and things. Now, some of them, the media has manipulated. Okay? And this is not a defense of this man. I'm not a fan of him. It just seems fake when the times I have gone to his site. But what's happened in the last few weeks is, by the way, the Mayo, I should comment, they jumped on the bandwagon and began removing all the videos of Alex Jones. YouTube, Facebook, and others, it's been in the media. Vimeo, they charge. And the only reason they got on the bandwagon at the end is they said they wanted the publicity. But when you charge people to upload, which Vimeo does, and then you remove that, you've just basically taken tens of thousands of dollars from various internet people that uploaded, and you just took their money. As far as I know, they still charge me. They never sent me an email or a message when they deleted all my videos. So you're talking almost a criminality of theft that they engaged in. But this article, in the same paper that I just showed you, Robert Mueller, how they manipulate constantly, the one that says, but we tell you the truth, we're not the enemy. You're biased, and you're constantly biased. And at times you're biased, the media and the Color Times, at times you're biased in cases that are serious things that society should look at. The one that I covered this last year, we had a famous case in Texas, and it was a conservative group, granted. It was an elderly white woman and then a younger white man. And they were doing like a sting operation that media often does. And they presented themselves to the Planned Parenthood office out of Houston, I believe. They pretended they were organ purchasers of child organs. And they did videos where you had the Planned Parenthood people talking about how much money that they would get for the certain packaging of child organs and abortions, which is horrendous. Now, the media played that till this very day, that those videos that this undercover Christian group, conservative group, were fake and edited, and that was false. Congress actually investigated. The only thing they edited on those videos were they were like hours long. They had to edit for bathroom breaks and things of that nature. Till this day, your Color Times, they even mocked. They had articles, might have been Dana Milbank. They mocked the Christian group who really exposed a horrific thing. And they played along with it. And then you say, we're not the enemy of the people. Not only did you not rightfully cover that issue, you mocked them. And then you told the country that those videos were fake. And you lied out and out. And you never correct your mistakes. The thing about the Alex Jones just happens also to be in this Sunday paper, the Color Times. Mr. Jones was told, take those videos down by various outlets before they banned Alex Jones. YouTube did it, Facebook did it, I just told you Vimeo. But before that, they received strikes. I received a strike. Maybe it was the Color Times. We'll get to Mr. Judge Vinales. How the Color Times also ran another wonderful article about him. So he was told by all these YouTube, internet, everything else, remove those videos. He took them down. And now in this court case, they're saying by you taking those videos down, you destroyed evidence. Now, as I read it, I could see how that's a manipulation. If you're told multiple times, remove those videos on Sandy Hook, whatever it is, and then you comply, and then you then say you destroyed it. What I do not believe he did was destroyed hard drives like Hillary Clinton did. You know, Hillary Clinton and the whole scandals of our last years, and it plays a role in this. When Congress subpoenaed by law, they gave a subpoena for emails, things of that nature. Not only did she not hand them over, she destroyed them manually. People in her Democratic National Campaign, they took hammers to their phones, to their devices, beat them with hammers. They used a particular thing called BleachBit to erase all the hard drives. After a subpoena, And James Comey, the disgraced James Comey, when he was asked in congressional hearings and all, and even on the news, they said, but when she did that, isn't that a crime? Meaning you subpoena something and you destroy it. That would be like Trump destroying every record of everything he's ever had, though he's turned over about 1 million pieces of, quote, evidence to the special counsel. That's a crime if you destroy something in that manner. And James Comey said, well, maybe she destroyed it because she had pictures of the weddings. Now, the public's not stupid, but that's what this media tells you, day after day after day after day. So you're not a friend of the people, media. And when you keep telling the public you're not an enemy of the people, but you do this constantly. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a Republican. But you are a constant manipulator. And then we have honoring founder Judge Manuel Benales. Though there's documents, paper reports out of San Antonio, the Aggie Times, talking about all the corruption that took place, the drug connections, the Celis thing, money laundering, all of the things. And you chose to defend somebody because he was a home person. And I truly believe because of the ethnicity. I defend Hispanics if I think they're being treated badly. I defend black people if I think they're being treated unfairly. But you defend particular people of that ethnicity, even if they do corruptly. And that was the one that said, let me make the video. I covered that. Google the Benales thing. Google the... That was just 3. And in a paper, with article after article, and I gave you some, where you manipulate, you deceive, and you do it in cases that are severe, which I told you, and you mock people that are actually concerned about late-term abortion and the horrendous act of taking those things, those body parts of children, and you made fun of the group, and you're in the media colluded with that, and you lied about that. I told you how you lied. Those were not fake videos. They were edited for bathroom breaks and things of that nature, but you still lie till this very day about all of that. So this is what I would say. It's not so much you defend yourselves that we are not the enemy of the people. You are not the media or the free speech anymore. The free speech would be people that speak the truth, whether it be on this format I'm speaking on now, people that speak the truth about all types of issues in society, and not just a partisan, non-stop manipulation. The Mr. Brennan thing. John Brennan, he's upset because his security clearance was revoked. Do you know one of the heroes of the bin Laden raid? I forget his name. He's a SEAL. He tweeted this week and said how Mr. Brennan is a disgrace of what he did. Do you know no major media outlet showed you his tweet? So the media sided with Mr. Brennan with such a shady history. And the Dianne Feinstein matter, when they were investigating them, the CIA, under Brennan's watch, they illegally broke into the computers of the Senate Intelligence Committee that was doing those hearings. These are things you should have been fired and face charges for. Besides the fact, why should his security clearance have been revoked? This man is on national TV. He's working for a press, I guess CNN, and he's actually giving statements saying Trump colluded and committed treason. Now you're telling people that you have a security clearance, and you're giving the impression that you're privy to highly secretive information, and then you say he did it because I know. Of course that man's security. He should have faced charges, these people, for some of the stuff they did. So this is what I would say. The public is aware of the constant game you play. And you did another one on Blake Farenthold. I didn't even have the disgraced congressman who resigned. But he's a lobbyist now working for a port north of here. It's another port. And it's in competition somewhat with the Port of Corpus Christi, which I've discussed before. And the article showed how Mr. Farenthold, they just can't drop it, that he basically lobbied for the port. The one, that's what they all do. And even when you're a congressman, you lobby for you. I think his name is Dustin White. There was a Nueces County deputy who was sadly killed, tragically, on a motorcycle wreck, I guess about midnight last night, riding maybe Rockport, Port Aransas, but he was a Nueces County deputy. So we send condolences to, I think the name is Dustin White, and a motorcycle wreck. He was killed on a motorcycle wreck. And so we do pray for the SO, Sheriff's Office, the family of Dustin White. Just honor him and recognize him, okay? So we'll end it with that. This is just an update, and God bless everybody.